Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today, I wanted to do a part two of our ongoing coverage of the war between the Russian Federation and Ukraine. There was an article that is out of the Washington Times that I don't think was picked up by a lot of persons covering this conflict. And I think it's important to look at the information in this article and understand the narrative that is starting to be shaped and why this narrative is starting to be shaped. Now, if we're not seeing the type of battlefield success that Western nation states believed that the Ukrainians were capable of doing, or certain Western nation states want additional support for the Ukrainians in this conflict, then what happens next? So let's read this article and talk about this a little bit. So again, this is out of the Washington Times. Some NATO countries that share a border with Russia might send troops to Ukraine on their own if alliance members, including the U.S., fail to provide tangible security guarantees at the upcoming summit in Vilnius, Lithuania. Former NATO Secretary General Anders Rasmussen said, "Suppose NATO members can't agree on a clear path forward for Ukraine. In that case, there is a clear possibility that some countries might take action to support Kiev, including putting boots on the ground." Mr. Rasmussen said in remarks published in the Guardian newspaper, "I think the Poles would seriously consider going in to assemble a coalition of the willing if Ukraine doesn't get anything in Vilnius," Mr. Rasmussen said. "We shouldn't underestimate the Polish feelings. The Poles feel that for too long Western Europe did not listen to their warnings against the true Russian mentality." What are they saying here? What is happening? Well, what Rasmussen is saying is that if NATO does not come to the aid of the Ukrainians, if the Ukrainian military is defeated or does not have the desired success in this counteroffensive that is happening as we speak, then the possibility that some NATO countries could act outside of NATO, specifically Poland. We know that there are Polish troops in Ukraine. We know that there is Polish equipment in Ukraine. The Poles right now are probably, outside of the United States, one of the largest contributors to the Ukrainian war effort. So this is dangerous, incredibly dangerous, because if Poland makes itself a party to this conflict, it's still a member of NATO, but it is, according to this article, it is going to act outside the realm of NATO. Then that would give the Russians the ability to strike targets inside of Poland. If Poland makes itself a party to this war, again, outside of NATO approval, then what are the Russians supposed to do? You tell me. If the Poles act on their own, if Polish troops move into Ukraine to support the Ukrainians on the ground, if we see Polish mechanized battalions move into Ukraine, it's highly likely that the Russians are going to strike targets inside of Poland. Poland is still a member of NATO. Then what happens? Even though that Poland is acting outside of NATO with no NATO approval, if the Russians strike NATO, Poland, that's how it would be perceived in the mainstream media, then that could drag other NATO nations into this war. Hence, major escalation. Do you see where this is heading? Do you see how this is progressing? Look, it is not going the other way. It is not de-escalating. You now have a member of NATO saying, hey, we may enter this on our own accord. And if they do that, that is going to give Russia the opportunity to hit targets in Warsaw and other areas in Poland. Because Poland has made itself a party to this war. Again, outside of NATO. But if Russia strikes Poland because of this, then that narrative changes. It's a NATO issue now. Because a NATO member was attacked. But the NATO member was attacked because it made itself part of the war outside of NATO. This could almost be another lesson in insanity. Have a good day, everybody.